Guys, welcome back to the studio. So it has been a few weeks since I've posted anything. Truth be told, I have been in a bit of a funk. I think a combination of, being 51, things going on in the world, family things. So I took a bit of a pause and let myself meander into spring. And I always want to make sure that what I put out is intentional and that has some inspiration, or that can be uplifting, or inspiring in some way. And I just needed a little bit of time to get myself sorted so that I could do that. Saying all of that, today I am going to share with you some of my walks with Charlie, the things that I noticed on those walks over the few weeks in March, and I'm going to share how I brought what I noticed on those walks back into the studio. I decided to do a warm-up using Neocolor 2 crayons, and you'll see as we move on that I add a few notes. I also use some gesso and some paint to just create a warm-up page with some colors that I want to use and some marks that I want to use. There are some images I kept coming back to over and over again, like these branches, some of the colors. I love the wisteria, and I really enjoyed just seeing how these tiny buds just grew over the span of about 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden they were gone and everything was lush and green. So I love to gather marks when I go out on my walks, especially in the beginning of the seasons. And so I started to collect some of those marks here really loosely. These almost look like bananas, but they are based off of the wisteria. So I collected my color palette. I gathered some papers. This is like a tracing paper. And I just started to make some marks based off of what I saw on my walks. The branches, the wisteria, some of the little buds that I noticed on the branches. This is tracing paper with acrylic paint. This has a bunch of stuff, so acrylic paint and some crayon. And then I used these marks to create some journal spreads, and I continued playing with these same marks, just repeating them in different ways. So here is a spread that I created based off of that wisteria again. This was based off of some other branches. I just used the same colors though. So there were these branches. I don't know what it is, but they just kind of look like little fuzzy, they must be like some kind of seeds or something. Just looked something like tinsel, yellow tinsel off the trees. So I just kind of did that. And then this is an older journal that I've shared some bits of before, I think. And I had some pages that just had some spare paint on them. So I continued to use up this paint from what I was doing here, and I just put that on here and then started to create a spread with that. So then I thought that I would create another kind of handmade journal, kind of like my fall journal and my winter journal, but that kind of went by the wayside. I was thinking that I would attach another piece of paper to this, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I will finish this, but I am not going to add any more paper. I have some ideas for how I can alter this, and so I just started off by layering some paint down and then using similar marks from before on these pages. I do not love this, so I know this is going to change. And yeah, so just kind of repeating those marks again in different ways. So I also went back to some of my photographs and chose some pictures from the different days that I actually photographed. So I go out every day, but I don't always take my phone with me. I don't like to actually have it with me because I like to just be in peace and not have that as a distraction. So I went back to a few dates and just decided to kind of do some quick sketches and write down a few things based off of those days and those walks. Okay, so I have some of the papers I'm going to work with. So I am going to work on this small handmade kind of journal, folio, whatever you want to call it. And I don't love this, so I am going to get rid of it. Oh, yep, I'm going to get rid of it. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this purple color here. And I'm going to add some gesso to this to lighten it up. So I am so happy how this turned out. I love the idea of showing something in multiple ways using different materials, and it's a beautiful record of my morning walks. Finally, I leave you with this journal spread. I'm just playing with paint and the colors that I have been using all along and some of the motifs that I have been using all along.